Hello students, today I will be going to take your value education class of class 3. Okay, and today I will start a new chapter number 2, Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, so all of you open page number 12 of your value education book. So first let's discuss this picture. In the first picture you can see a student is saying to the other students that the teacher has asked us to maintain silence. So the students should be obedient to the teacher, right? In the second picture we can see the man is saying, I have blown the whistle, you have to stop. So the man has blown the whistle means they have to stop and they have to be obedient towards this person. Okay, and the picture number 3 we can see please form a queue. This man is saying that please form a queue, and they are like fighting. They are not making a queue, so they should maintain a proper they should be in a proper queue and be organized, right? So from this chapter we will come to know about the obedience. Okay, so now let's read the story. Once there was a little girl. She was called Little Red Riding Hood, as she always wore her pretty red hood. You can see the girl always wore a pretty red hood. That's why her name is Little Red Riding Hood. One day, mother baked a basket of fresh bread. She called Little Red Riding Hood and said, Little Red Riding Hood, please take this basket of bread to grandmother. Remember not to talk to anybody on the way and not to stop anywhere. So her mother told her not to talk to anybody else and not to stop anywhere. The forest is filled with wild animals and they might hurt you. Sure, mother, said Little Red Riding Hood as she took the basket and waved goodbye. On the way, Little Red Riding Hood saw some beautiful flowers that had fallen on the ground. I must collect some of these for grandmother. They will brighten her room and make her really happy. She started picking up the flowers. So she stopped somewhere and she started picking up the flowers, but her mother told her not to stop anywhere else, right? Then let's see what happened. What Little Red Riding Hood did not know was that the big bad wolf was watching her. What a nice meal she will make, he thought to himself. Slowly, he approached Little Red Riding Hood and said, Good day to you, little madam. Surprised, she turned and said, Good day to you, to Mr. Wolf. Then let's see what happened. Turn to the next page. And where are you going today? Asked Mr. Wolf. Oh, I am going to grandmother's house. My mother has baked a basket of bread for her. She stays in the small hut at the edge of the forest, replied Little Red Riding Hood. Then you must hurry. You should not be late, said Mr. Wolf and walked away slyly. While Little Red Riding Hood collected the flowers, the big bad wolf ran across the forest and reached grandmother's house. He gave grandmother quite a shock. He locked her in the other room. Then he quickly wore her nightdress and lay in the bed, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood. After some time, there was a knock at the door. Come in, said Mr. Wolf, trying to copy grandmother's voice. Now the wolf is trying to copy grandmother's voice. Little Red Riding Hood entered the cottage and went to her grandmother. Oh, what big eyes you have, grandmother, said Little Red Riding Hood. Why, my dear, the better to see with you, replied Mr. Wolf. Oh, what a big ears you have, grandmother, said Little Red Riding Hood. Why, my dear, the better to hear you with, replied Mr. Wolf. Oh, what a big teeth you have, grandmother, said Little Red Riding Hood. Why, my dear, the better to eat you with, replied Mr. Wolf and pounced on the little girl. Little Red Riding Hood started screaming and running around the house. Just then, Mr. Jack, a hunter, was passing by. He heard the little girl's screams and entered the cottage. Seeing what was happening, Mr. Jack quickly shot Mr. Wolf and saved Little Red Riding Hood. Then he led grandmother out of the locked room. Little Red Riding Hood told them how the big bad wolf met her on the way. He had asked questions and she had told him everything. I am sorry, grandmother and Mr. Jack. I should have listened to mother and not talked to anybody on the way, she said. Grandmother and Mr. Jack were happy that Little Red Riding Hood had realized her mistake, right? So from here we come to know that a Little Red Riding Hood should have listened to her mother, right? So from this chapter we come to know that we should always be obedient to our elders, right? So today I have read the story and your next day I will start the exercise. Okay, so today is up to this. All of you have a nice day. Bye.